Hello everybody, I'm Dr. Chris Hoff and this is another episode of The Radical Therapist. In today's episode we'll be talking about and taking on perfection. For those that don't know, I've grown up, started multiple businesses, and have made my home in Southern California, Orange County to be exact. Southern California is a center of high achievement, entrepreneurial success, and all the trappings that come with material success. It could be considered ground zero for how success should look. So it should come as no surprise that a piece of my practice includes working with clients who are struggling with the problem of perfection and the bad effects that perfection brings into lives. It is my experience that people struggling with perfection are often left with two alternatives, all or nothing. The all in all or nothing often appears as what gets labeled as your type A person. We are all familiar with this sort of description of people that are under the influence of perfection. But surprisingly, I have come to realize that perfection shows up more in the people who often get labeled as slackers. In these particular cases, perfection often shuts down any movement because of its heavy burden. It is also my experience that these two options offered by perfection either leaves people exhausted or experiencing stuckness and suspended creativity. In other words, perfection has the ability to remove the joy from life, regardless of the amount of success a person achieves. According to Dr. Stephen Madigan, perfection masks itself in the world of attitudes of excellence and high achievement. Madigan believes that although perfection is unattainable, we are bombarded with messages regularly via various cultural institutions that tell us we are not measuring up, and that we should continue to pursue perfection with even more energy, leaving people who struggle with the experience of perfection of an experience of not good enough. As an entrepreneur, myself, who has experienced high achievement and material success, I appreciate people giving their best, the experience of success, and the lessons that come with these endeavors. But when perfection shows up and begins to diminish our accomplishments and tells us we need to do more, it is time to take action and get free from perfection's influence. Madigan offers several considerations in the form of questions that might help someone struggling with perfection to begin to see its effects, how it works, and then get a bit of distance from its influence. Here are some questions to ask to make perfection more visible. 1. In what ways does perfection work to blind you to your achievements as a person, parent, employee, and partner? 2. In what ways is perfection giving you a less than worthy idea of yourself? And 3. In what ways have you been trained and pressured into ideas of perfection, even though perfection is not possible? And finally, 4. Are the pressures of perfection any different between men and women? I believe these questions open up space so that a thorough investigation of perfection's tactics in people's lives can begin, and then, with some work, people can begin to renegotiate how they would like to be in relationship with perfection. Listen, I think I would be a bit disingenuous if I didn't admit that perfection has provided some support in my life. It did get me through a doctoral program. It's just when perfection dominates all domains of living, like relationships, for example, it can become quite problematic. Excelling in business, sports, working passionately in our respective communities and circles of influence are wonderful things. But if the joy of participating in these activities is being drained away by the influence of perfection, it might be time to take a closer look at how perfection is strengthened in our lives and then how we might begin to dissolve it. I would love to have a conversation with you in the comments below by you leaving some of your own answers to these questions. Once again, thanks for watching. I would really appreciate your subscribing to my channel. And if you know someone who may be in their own struggle with perfection, please share this with them on social media. Until next time, I'm Dr. Chris Hoff, and this has been The Radical Therapist. Thanks for watching.